Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be doing our pre-launch wrap-up. So I'm going to go over, I simplified the data for the recommendations to be able to work with the Glide app and make it easy for us to get information into it. There is a blur. I call it a bug, but it's something that I didn't set. And then we'll go over reducing motion on the gallery, hiding divs when there's no content in it, adding the reCaptcha and thank you message to the forms, review the settings, and then do another Lighthouse test. So number one, simplified data. So I took a bunch of fields off of here. I had multi-selection category, a long description, which I took off, text for the phone number, text for the URL. Well, I had a URL field, and I've changed that to a text field. And then I took off multi-images. And so the reason for that was to be able to get it to work, to be able to update from the app to Webflow, without making it too complicated for things to break. And if later on people say, oh, I wish there was more images, or I want to add a long description, then we can always add that on later. Okay. So number two, the blur bug. So if we open the booking info, we can see that the background blurs, but then as we tab through, oh, now it works. That's set. Let me look on here. And this is sort of the same thing that happened when I first put it in, that it did work, and then after a few times. There we go. So as soon as I tabbed into this area, it went away on most of the screen, but it's still here on this area. So looking at their example, and because this is a more traditional modal, they have a background that's set. And it does make sense. This is a background filter. So I really wanted it to be transparent, but what I can do is just set it to 1%. Let's publish just for the heck and see what happens. So it's blurred, tab, still blurred, tab, still blurred, tab, still blurred, still blurred. So hopefully that takes care of that one. Now reduce motion in the gallery. In previous versions, videos, these sort of wobbled and the images became bigger. That was sort of making me a little seasick, and I still don't like that the images become bigger behind the mask. If it was above, then it wouldn't bother me as much. But then you start running into, it gets too close to this picture and that picture, and it doesn't really look right. So I'm going to remove that transition. So I'll select on the hover. and then get rid of that scaling. So now, I was going to change the brightness and make it the opposite. So it was a little darker, and then when you hover over it, it became brighter. So to me, that makes more sense. But then you have these other pictures which do lead into the gallery, so everything would have to be a bit darker. We'll just leave this way. And then if it bothers me, eventually I can take it away. All right, so we want to hide the divs that have no content. So if this does not have content in it, so we don't know the address, so like a park, although we'd probably know the address of a park, but the park might not have a phone number and maybe not have a website, but probably does. More likely no phone number. In any event, we're just going to set the condition that it is visible when location is set. We'll do the same thing with the telephone number. Go into the settings, set a condition when the phone number is set. And same thing with the website. And the URL text is set. Okay. So now if some of these didn't have a phone number, so let's take one of these away. And so it hid the whole section, took that space away. So let's just put this back. Okay, there it is, back again. And this little section right here is an embed. This is a little trick that Jeremy LaRue taught me, and I'll put a link down below to his video. So that way I don't have to have the phone number. So if you're on the mobile, you can just click, even on the desktop, you can just click to call, and it would open up whatever phone, or if you use Skype or whatever, you can call without having to put the phone number in. But then it's not accessible friendly. Just have the phone number and not say call whatever at phone number, or call this phone number, or something like that. So this allows me to add the phone number, so you can click to call, and then also add a descriptive link. If I didn't have the descriptive link, I could put in an ARIA label there. So that's one little recommendation. reCaptcha. On the booking info form, there is a reCaptcha already. I don't really need that, although it may be good to have because they will get spam. So we want to add the reCaptcha. Oh, oh. Can't have more than one reCaptcha. Oh. Contact form. Let's look at the name of the form. And here, a form. Inquiry. Booking inquiry. Okay. And that does have the reCaptcha, right? There's the reCaptcha. Okay. Weird. Just add a little space. Maybe a little more. Okay. And then, oh, what is the name of the form? Contact. Contact. And then this is a form also. So what does this form say? Let's change this to subscribe form. All right. Awesome, you're subscribed, so that's good. What does this form say? Thanks, your message has been sent. Okie dokie. And then one more. I need to see it. Thank you. Your submission has been received. About your inquiry. You really want to put on there how long it would take to get back to them. So that's a discussion with the client. And how long that would be. Okay, what's next on our list? Review settings. The project settings. So we just want to review the name that we've uploaded, the icons, it's the correct location, a time zone, and language. And once we launch it, we'll turn on the showcase. Why not? Hosting's all set. We're not really going to use the editor, although I could add them on there. So SEO robots. So I am going to look in my useful snippets, and we're going to put in that we don't want the style guide. Now we've already set this. Save. On the page. Let's go to the page. Oh, one word. Okay, so we have to change that. Oops. Settings. I said exclude this page from site search results. What I want to make sure is that it doesn't get indexed. So let's go and change that back. While we're here, pages, recommendations, yep. Really no need to index privacy policy or terms of service. So let's just double check the, okay. So let's go back to settings, SEO, style guide. Okay, so we want to do terms of service, and we want to do privacy policy. Okay, so I put all the pages in that I want to block. So we'll save changes. And if you look at the robots.txt.org, you'll notice it doesn't have the star that I'm using. But you also know the extension of the page, and we don't know what the extension of the page is. At least I don't know it. Just for the fun. HTML. No. So it's not HTML. At least the extension of the page. So, if you're in doubt, you can always go to testyourrobots.txt on Google and put in, well, if it's published and you have it on your properties, it's going to pull in the robots.txt. And then as a double check, you can put in, is this blocked? And it says blocked. So we'll save the changes before we go any further. As soon as we get the custom domain on there, we'll want to turn this on, the auto-generate sitemap. And then for Google, what I'm going to do is go into the custom code, and I'm going to add the Google Tag Manager and then set up the Google Analytics and add it to the tag manager so that I only have one script. They do put areas where you can put in the Google Analytics tag. I think I removed all the fonts that I'm not using. And here we have the forms. So the form name, Moore's Edge form. New submission on form name. And right now it's going to me, but it will go to the host. And if you don't put anything, it's going to use the default. There is a default, but you can put in what you want. And then here we'll add the reCaptcha. And then down below here, that once we start getting submissions, they'll be there. If we get a lot of submissions, like a lot of signups, for subscribing, then we can put in an integration for MailerLite. So everything goes to MailerLite or MailChimp or whichever one that they want to use. And then same thing with these. If we get a lot of submissions, then we can add some automation and integration into it. So possibly that we could have it showing up on the Glide app. But we'll deal with that when we get there. Did I finish this? Yes. Okay. Now back to our Lighthouse Test. Just make sure we're published. Oh, I already have it open, but let's see. I'm going to copy this. I do a new incognito window. I have so many extensions that I end up with errors from those extensions. So let's see what happens. $99, $98, $100. Ooh, what happened to SEO? Yeah, page blocks. Oh, it's not a valid. Right, because it's a different. Okay. Yep. No worries there. This is still our map issue, which they have told me they're working on. So, this is great. The only thing I don't like is that all my stuff goes away. That's so weird. So, there we have it. We don't have anything else that looks like a bug. And then next video will be about glide and my journey with that. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.